What's up, guys? It is that Panagon. I'm here again with another video, and today we're me looking at my recent archipelago raid in G9. This was kind of crazy. So basically what happened was I think it was maybe 2 or 3 a.m., maybe like 3 a.m., and it was super late, and we were basically I was getting ready to sleep and stuff, but I had a late night that night, and basically what ends up happening is Azure does a push on us. Not only do they push us, they use a building skill, so we aren't able to pop this tower before they get it down. And I will tell you guys something real quick. We made some really good plays and we made some massive mistakes. One mistake that you're actually going to see here is we end up ignoring one tower really far down below, which is like the, bottom tower, right? And we let them burn it because we think, or at least the thought process that I was going through was, hey, we need to focus on this tower, make sure we're controlling the field, or at least be busy enough on the field that it forces the enemy to compete with us, so we're able to keep the field section kind of full and they aren't able to teleport up. Also, you see this one account, I don't even know what it's called, but this WoW account, whatever, that teleported in, right? They did this multiple times where they would teleport in and they would reserve the spot for one of their main fighters. They did this extremely well, and honestly, props to them. But we were basically trying to make sure we could get this tower down. We were keeping field pressure here, so they weren't able to get as many teleports in and whatnot. We spawned in as many of these chainsaw zombies as possible as well. Or I think they're called chainsaws. No, not chainsaw zombies. Sorry, zombie commanders or whatever, the ones you have to rally, so they wouldn't be able to get teleports in and stuff. And you do see the tower there in the bottom right corner burning. We decided, hey, this isn't worth holding. We can't spread ourselves too thin. And ideally, we actually just put a garrison in there and we repair it every like we repair it after 5 minutes, let them burn it, and then we kind of save it before it burns. And the actual thought process was, hey, this tower is going to be down before our tower burns, right? And they end up getting a repair on it, and we have to actually take a little bit longer to get the full burn on it, and that actually becomes an issue for us. Which, I mean, you see right now, it's burning, but they end up repairing it and stuff, and that takes us way too long. We end up just letting the other tower burn down because we're like, hey, let's not spread ourselves too thin. But these guys already have a building skill active, and then they end up building in that spot, and we are able to burn the tower, don't get me wrong, if it was not for the building skill. The building skill made it way too fast. We didn't have enough time to burn it. And honestly, if we swarmed the tower, we would have gotten it down before it actually placed, the second tower. And honestly, this was so bad for us. Like, that was one of the biggest mistakes ever. We do actually make a really crazy play here once we do end up burning this tower again. And you guys are going to be actually like flabbergasted, I think, when you see this. But what's going to happen is they're going to burn our tower, right? They're going to build where that tower is. And basically this tower, they're not really going to have much of a choice. They have to place another back tower to make sure that they're still connected once this tower goes down. But they start teleporting onto this fresh tower that ends up building, right? Which is connected to the already burning tower, which we're going to burn down completely eventually. And we end up letting them teleport over there. And since this tower burns before the other one that's like their back tower, which wasn't using a building skill, ends up fully building, we get a 0, like 3 people, I think, online, which was insane. It was an insane play. I will say we did not have enough field pressure here. I was actually really frustrated and I was getting stressed because I was like, dude, why do we not have more field pressure? It was in the middle of the night, to be fair, and these guys did kind of strike us at a really odd time, and they could have planned this better. They could have planned this better than we obviously, would have, like, in terms of, being able to be prepared, right? Because we don't have like an insider who's like, hey, make sure you're all up tonight, right? There's plenty of people who are sleeping at this time. We're eating tower rallies from their big guy farmer, and their farmer guy is an absolute monster. This is our second time in a row actually fighting the guy. I will say our biggest upside against fighting farmer is his actual schedule. I think he's not like the most active player. He probably has work and stuff, and this is the only thing that we can kind of take advantage of to maximize our trades and make this as good as possible. But I guess this was a prime time for farmer, so he was able to be up for hours kind of fighting us here. And eventually what you're going to see is we actually end up backing up and we decide, hey, not worth holding these towers. And they do end up trying to place another tower to connect to us again, because we let one of our towers burn instead of just continuing to defend and getting beat like dogs, right? And we let that tower burn, and they end up trying to build another tower. We pop that tower because, as long as it doesn't have like a 5-minute build time, I feel like I'm pretty confident in our ability to drop these towers as long as we have our whale to, rally, and then we have our other rallies kind of here So we're able to drop these towers, but it's just super hard. And these guys were honestly really well, playing this really well. They were filling the towers best as they could. And honestly, the main reason we were trying to prevent these guys from getting teleports in wasn't only just so they couldn't like kind of reinforce, which that is one thing. If they can get bases down here, that means that they can get people to reinforce the bases, making it easier to reinforce the tower. But it's also because we didn't want their top guys being able to teleport down and refreshing their troops, really quickly, especially since we're already struggling on the field with numbers. We kind of have to maximize on our kind of upside. This is also one reason we're super active on the field. We want to keep players like Farmer, for example. He's an absolute monster. So we want to make sure that he's staying active on the field instead of running to his base and then being able to teleport in, get a really good teleport spot in. So it's really complicated, and we're trying our best to, manage and control this. And they do end up, beating this rally out, and we're like, hey, we got to reset this rally because we don't have enough fillers, and the fact that we don't have enough fillers is an issue. And also they have this like teleportation timing on freaking spot. Like, I don't know if this is an alt account they're using to select these teleports, but holy, that teleport was so fast. But you guys get my point, right? Like, this was just really complicated. Letting that bottom tower burn was honestly our biggest mistake. I think they do burn like 2 to 3 bases themselves, which kind of sucked because one of the guys was ours, but it was kind of like if you're in a, like if you've been offline for an extended duration, you're kind of asking to get zeroed in this case, right? Like, you're literally asking for that burn. But yeah, we do end up getting this tower. Thankfully, they just even with the bases here, they just can't properly fill this fast enough to outdo 3 rallies that have field, more so field control here. Or not even field control, it's just that we have like better, they don't have really good refresh times. And you do see they're about to drop a tower, which was super sucky. Like, God, I'm so frustrated. And it wasn't even a crazy good garrison. They had a Peterson, pretty average like T6 player kind of garrisoning that tower. If we just swarmed the tower down, we wouldn't have faced as many rallies as we did. We wouldn't have faced as much pain as we did. And honestly, we put ourselves through so much more heartache than we really needed to. And don't get me wrong, they never pushed us back to like our checkpoint or anything. We do end up building into them after Farmer falls asleep, and we end up just kind of slapping them like that because they don't really have anybody to fight us off. They don't really have a proper garrison captain to do anything in that case, and we're able to just take advantage of that. But honestly, this was like super hard, and these guys are just super good. Like, I swear, Farmer, like, and not even just Farmer, his alliance, right? VWAO, they were just really strong. They were really tough, and they were persistent fighters. Like, honestly, got to give it to them. They were some of the most annoying players I fought in a while. We did fight them last Archipelago raid, and I can attest that they were equally as annoying last Archipelago raid, okay? That being said, our garrisons were pretty tough, but they were no match for him in that regard. And honestly, we were just taking really bad trades. We were taking the tail end of them. And we should, like, honestly, ideally, if I were to go back, not only like would I have just handled this completely different in regards to like the tower in the bottom corner, be it like their placement or them placing it, and then even just us holding it, you know what I mean? I honestly would have handled this completely different. I wouldn't have even garrisoned that tower at that point. Like, the second they get this tower down, I would have just been like, hey guys, teleport back. There's no point holding this. You know what I mean? And we would have just saved our troops because we weren't trading to the point where it was like we were getting just like annihilated, but we were not trading good at all. It was like 1-2 and sometimes even 3-1, right? And especially with like not having enough fillers and stuff and our activity being super low. And you do see us here getting ready to gather to try to zero some of these bases. Their tower down below us it still had like 10 minutes building, and you see that tower above us, above our marches, is literally almost down. It has maybe 300 burn health on it. We were trying to get ready for this burn time. I'm surprised more of these guys didn't recognize this, or like people didn't like say, hey, watch out, you know what I mean? You're at risk of getting completely zeroed or annihilated, right? And you see multiple people still teleporting in, people who like are like 80, 90 million, which are very swarmable, getting fresh battle fury, etc. It was just like super weird to me and confusing, and we get some like pretty good zeros here, so I don't know. And you do see it here now. We're getting these swarms in. I will say they were very active on the field, which made it harder for us to do our job here, but I don't know, man. This was crazy. This was a really tough fight. This is obviously not the full extent of the overall fights on the map. This is kind of one short section of it, and I felt this was like honestly the best section of our archipelago raid at the very least, like on in terms of Jade Azure fight. You know, I felt this was kind of our most extreme fight and stuff, and I was just super happy to record this. I almost did not record this, by the way. You guys should thank Kaz for that, because I was in a call with the guy. And he was like, yo, dude, make sure you're recording, because I did not record for the first like 10 minutes or something when we were fighting. And I do this sometimes where I forget, hey, I should just click the record button. I forget to do that. And that would make me very sad if I had forgotten, okay? Either way, we do have a bit of a back and forth here. I think we managed to build a tower into their other tower, which is on the left, the back tower. Honestly, I was super confused when one of the alliances started building it, because we were, you know, we weren't strong enough to really get a tower down, which we ended up getting it down only because we swarmed like Farmer's Rally out, which was extremely painful, mind you. Like it was not good for us, you know, it wasn't good on us. But even then, we weren't able to defend both those towers in any case. We weren't able to even defend one barely. So either way, we kind of had to drop that. And Farmer was pretty good at swapping his garrison around. So, you know, we weren't able to just kind of utilize him being in the wrong tower, you know. Like that is everything. You know, having a whale is everything. And they utilized it really well. Honestly, like we were not able to really handle him. He's just super strong. This is like such a new account too, because Farmer, I think his account was like 187 ID, almost 19 ID. This dude has every workshop at level 16 except for one, which is level 20. And then he had his armaments kind of pretty maxed out for the most part. I mean, he doesn't have all his parts maxed out or anything, but realistically, this guy is almost as like peak in the game as you can be. So it was super hard to go on the offensive or even defend against them, you know. And at some point, it was like, hey, this isn't worth it. Let's just wait. Let's play kind of offensive, drop any towers they build into us, and we'll just wait for these guys to kind of start logging off and then just counterattack like that. Because I think a lot of people start egoing too much and they'll just ego to the death. And I think groups that are kind of able to recognize, hey, this is a losing battle, and they're able to just drop out gracefully, kind of just take the W in that case, you know. I mean, obviously, like, you know, I'm not saying like we're some like almighty players, but I do think like we kind of handled this as good as we could have for the most part. I mean, obviously we did still take quite a while to drop out of this, but we did end up dropping out, and I think that was the, you know, best choice we really could have made here, because ego holding did not make sense. Going the offensive any longer didn't make sense. Our trades started to become really bad after they started being able to teleport up and stuff. We just started losing our momentum. I think our morale started dropping. Our trades on towers and stuff wasn't really as good. And overall, we just kind of were losing in every regard. Either way, I'm going to kind of back out here. You guys can start enjoying this footage. I'm kind of just on a yapathon over here. You guys enjoy this, though. I do appreciate you guys for stopping by, as always. I hope you guys have enjoyed my commentary and have enjoyed the video. You guys let me know what you guys think about this, though. If you guys thought this was kind of a crazy like fight. I think like the whole teleporting thing and then like the base is getting zero, that was an insane play. Like that was literally insane. But either way, you guys let me know what you guys think. I do appreciate you guys, and you guys have a great one. Peace out.
Found the one, you should never give her up. I think it's the way life changes when in love, yeah. I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see, yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and still finish in one, yeah, yeah. That too far away from our hearts, yeah, yeah. The ones we keep close, we should never let